Hello guys, Matthew here and welcome back again to the TechTeak YouTube channel. To wander off from graphics cards for a moment, today I'll be checking out the Cryorig H5 Universal CPU cooler, which is attracting a lot of attention lately as a product, but before all as a brand that is building up its reputation around good quality value products, some of which I've already checked out before here on my channel. As you can see, this is not your ordinary product box when it comes to CPU coolers. Cryorig made it a bit more interesting and modern looking, while also keeping all the necessary informations like dimensions of the cooler and its technical specifications, supported CPU platforms for installation, which this model, as you can see here, basically covers all, together with an overview of its main features and a big picture of it on the front of the box. Opening up the box, right on the flaps you will see some additional information in regards of warranty, that being if you register your product online you will get an extended 3 years of warranty. Taking out the inner box, you can easily just spread the left and right compartments, in which you will find your usual necessary parts for the cooler installation, user manuals, thermal paste, and even in this case an always welcomed addition of a long screwdriver. And finally, here is the CPU cooler itself. The H5 series is definitely your example of a bigger CPU cooler when compared to other, more mainstream ones on the market. Its overall height is pretty common, sitting at 160mm, while looking at it from the side you can see that it's really long and goes deep for about 110mm, which could potentially bring in some problems when it comes to RAM clearance, but that's the reason why they've, beside the regular H5 Ultimate with a 25mm thick 140mm fan, also introduced this Universal series of H5 coolers, which comes in with only 13mm thick 140mm fan, and that makes it next to limitless when it comes to RAM clearance. Overall, I like its design and aesthetics. It looks pretty cool, especially the top and bottom white covers and these cool details on the fins. Going to the bottom, you will find a total of 4 6mm heat pipes coming from the cooler's aluminum 38 fin tower down to this nickel-plated pure copper base, which has a very smooth and even looking surface finish, almost mirror-like. Pulling down the fan, you can see that we have this, as Cryorig calls it, hive fin structure, which reduces air turbulence and supposedly makes cooler more effective and rigid. You will only see it on that fan side of the cooler, going into the structure for the first 10mm or so, while the rest of it has a usual configuration of stacked fins. You can also install a second fan for push-pull configuration, as they included another holding bracket for a standard 140mm fan. Installation of H5 on Intel's 1151 Skylake platform is that simple. If you had any experience with CPU cooler installation, you will have no problem whatsoever, even without a manual, although I suggest you take a quick look at it, especially since they have a really good video guide on their website. It doesn't hurt. I could have, for example, used that same advice, since I managed to screw up the only thing that could go wrong. I've put the pressure crossbars other way around. Bravo, dumbass me. Bravo. You can also notice that I've turned the cooler and the fan facing motherboard's IOs, since I'm recording my B-roll footage from that angle, but putting it in a usual orientation you can see that there's plenty of room for RAM, it clears out, while facing that other side it will be a tight fit, especially in terms of X99 platform. Speaking of tight fit, thankfully motherboard that I have here has its first PCI Express X16 slot placed on the second row, so I was fine in regards of the cooler clearance, but as far as I can tell, I'm pretty sure you will not be able to use the first slot, so take that into consider. Taking a look at the performance, idle figures on my Intel Core i7-6700K were pretty standard considering the low power and low voltage states that it has, around 25 degrees Celsius on an open test bed in a room with an ambient temperature of around 22 degrees Celsius. Bumping the heat up with AIDA's system stability testing, load temperature results were impressive. You can see H5 keeping the cores mostly under 60 degrees Celsius with momentary peaks over 65 degrees Celsius. Overclocking the CPU to 4.7 GHz with voltage set at 1.35 volts in BIOS, while according to hardware monitor it was mostly ranging from 1.38 to 1.4 volts, I was getting temperatures below 70 degrees Celsius for the most part, with peaks being under 80 degrees Celsius. In terms of the noise during light load or just idling, you won't hear a thing out of this fan, even when gaming, and that's with the PWM regulation being set at default in BIOS. Under full load it's audible either under stock or overclocked settings as the fan tops out at 1300 RPM, but bottom line it's far from being annoying or unbearable. Overall, everything considered, the H5 Universal delivers excellent performance for an air cooler, definitely worth putting it on a short list, especially if you can find it on discounts at around $40 from time to time. That's it guys for this time from me. Thank you once again for checking out the unboxing and review of the Cryorig's H5 Universal CPU cooler. Feel free to toss me a thumbs up if you like this video, it helps me a lot. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions about the product, and of course, if you would like to see more content like this, you can subscribe to the TechTeak YouTube channel, or you can just check out some of my other videos from before.